The future is here, and the present is 20 years behind. Welcome to Time Travel 101. On board is Captain Maobi N.
It is said that life is sweet and beautiful, but that is when you have a lot of things to enjoy and a lot of fun to catch. To me, it's pretty tough and a big threat to happiness when you have to work all day, maybe from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday to Saturday. It only leaves you about a couple of hours free time to do whatever you please. To somebody like me, it's not really enough. It's not even enough to spend some time alone and have a deep thought, for that is always when I get most of my inspirations. Not even to talk of going out to watch the sky creatures doing their aerobatic stunts. Also, watching the clouds in the midst of the deep blue gradually take new beautiful and different forms is really captivating and something I haven't done for a very long time. I missed walking in the woods and listening to different creatures make their sounds and breaking up the noise my head makes in the silence of the lonely day. Yes, I really do. I really missed picking up beautiful flowers along the way and wondering who I should give it to. But in a while, I knew I would have all the time I wanted, all the time I'd ever longed for, and the beautiful days I deserve, as I was going to have 2 weeks off from work in a couple of days. I was the happiest person I know. I made phone calls to relatives and friends who I've never seen for a long time, whose memories are getting covered with the dust of time, for the sparkling moments we shared together have become blunt. Cobwebs covers its dusty path. I wondered if they would ever recognize me, but what's more beautiful than trying? Luckily, I got a very good old friend of mine hooked up on the phone. I've never seen him for many years, so getting to speak with him was really wonderful. He used to live outside the country, but I was amazed when he told me he moved back about 5 years ago. We used to walk the streets of Aba together those dark years past. And now learning that he now resides in Iguacha, a harbor city very close to Aba, I was overjoyed, and I knew that I have just found a place to spend my vacation. To me, hours became very long, and days to me was as long as a month. But what's more hope-giving than waiting? I've heard about how beautiful the city have become through the years. Its dockyards, I heard, are one of the most beautiful and busiest in Africa. There are always big ships coming in and going out of the harbor from all over the world. But it's relatively noisy for a place to visit on a vacation. So I thought of another tourist place like one of the sand beaches of Iguacha along the bight of Biafra, or maybe one of the amusement parks close to the beach. On a second thought, I thought of going to Enugu, for I had seen many beautiful pictures of the highlands and valleys. There is one of my favorite pictures of the town, which was taken standing on top of the hill, capturing the hill's red as it joins the city buildings. The night photographs of Enugu were one of the most beautiful I've ever seen. But I already told Chike that I will be coming over to Iguacha on Friday evening, so there was no point changing the plans. I waited for the whole day to happily head for the airport. I didn't even think I paid any attention at the office this last day, as I was already thinking about this vacation. I took a taxi to the airport. I preferred using the Kano International Airport in downtown Aba metropolis, as the name alone represents a very important part of our history as a people. Not even to talk about the looks and the architecture designs. In fact, it was one of the most beautiful airports I've seen. It would normally take about 30 minutes to drive to Iguacha from my home in Aba, but I preferred using a flight to make it quicker, thereby giving my car a holiday too. And besides, I love the aerial view of the city's sky kisser buildings. The cityscape from above is one beautiful thing to behold, especially at nights. But besides the beauty, I chose flying in at a later hour because the day and working hours are always very busy. You have people flying in and out for tourism and business, but at night, there is always a much less busy part. It was 9:39 p.m. when our flight touched the ground, and there, waiting already was Chike. He looks huge and big, unlike the last time I saw him. He used to be skinny and looks very hungry and tattered. But then, who wouldn't huge up when they live in the comfort of a very beautiful ancestral sweet home, where you wouldn't have to hide from the police and immigration because of an expired passport and visa? He took me in his car. I thought at first it was a Toyota-made new model car, but he mentioned buying from one of the new Biafran automobile companies. It was quite a mobile home. We drove into the city. It was quite a sight to see. I thought Aba was the most beautiful place in the whole Biafra until then. The city has such a unique and glowy night look. There were warm tungsten overhead lights everywhere and a white armored glass coated light on the floors of every 15 feet distance. Where walls are nearby, there are always dim different colored lights that spices the rest of the lights up. In fact, one can pay his last savings to spend a night in this city. We got into the building where he has an apartment. It was a 65-story smart-looking government-sponsored community building, and he lives on the 25th floor. The car park was underground, and so there were not many cars parked here and there. The streets were very clean and beautifully colorful. Before every 2 poles, there were street cameras for monitoring every movement and for security purposes. Close to this house is a beautifully arranged straight-line umbrella tree garden. Maybe I should call it a garden, though it's not, because there were very beautiful flowers finely arranged and planted at every perfect corner. Under the trees were seats for relaxation and maybe for waiting too. The floor of this city were made with blocks of beautiful stones and marbles. The colorful night lights made it glitter as if they were polished. And most beautiful of them all is the tricolor Biafran flags hanging on every 2 or 3 buildings in a straight line. I almost didn't even close an eyelid all through the night as I stared at this night's beauty and remembering how it used to be. Day breaks and sunlight pierce through the window to find me on this very comfortable huge bed. The light never goes off like it used to during the dark years, and the room temperature was always in regulation. It was always moderate, for the modern Biafran architectural designs have made a very unique type of building homes that room temperatures are always being regulated from inside the hollowed walls. It reminded me of a song by Chimaobim titled Good Morning Beautiful Day. I was happy that our world had to turn to this after many years of darkness and death. I was all smiles and bright. Then I hurriedly knelt down to pray and thank the Creator for such a beautiful day like this, and for to guide our path and take us to where we'll have the most beautiful moments of our lives. This first day of my 2 weeks vacation.